Hello, welcome to the video. Today's video I'm going to do an autumn makeup look. It's going to just be like a get ready with me. I'll just take you with me, and this is the finished look in case you wanted a spoiler. So this is what we're going to be doing. It's so simple and it's so easy to do and so quick, and it's just something you can kind of take anywhere. Like, it can be a daytime look, it can be a nighttime look, you know, whatever your vibe is. I think it's pretty transferable. So stay tuned and we'll get into it. All right, so I'm barefaced, ready to go, covered in maskne. We're going to ignore that. And we're going to start with primer, and I always use the Sculpted by Amy Connolly Beauty Base. And this is just like the regular one. I think there's another one, and that's called like Pearl or something, but this one's just the regular one. Kind of got more of a golden base. And this has SPF, what, 30? I really like this because it means I don't have to remember to use a separate product for SPF. And then for foundation, again, just my normal run-of-the-mill one. I don't have like 6 different foundations like some people do. I know some people have like different foundations for different reasons, but like I literally just use the one, and it's the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I use shade 2.5. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay again. This is from the Stay Naked line, which actually I should probably try more of because I like this. And this is in 10NN. So it's pretty light. I think it's a little bit too light for me, so I only use a tiny bit. And once we have that all done, then I just set everything with some powder, which I am desperately low in. This is just, again, my usual number 7. It's the Airbrush Away Translucent Finishing Powder. It's really good. It's actually, it's not too chalky or anything, which is nice. So I just pat that on with one of these kind of kabuki looking brushes. So that is the base. Really simple, just your usual. Do whatever you normally do. Okay, so I very much like a bit of bronzer. I am using one from a very old palette. I will not tell you how old this palette is because you will judge me, and that's just not. But it's a really super old Smashbox palette, and it's got like a whole bunch of eyeshadows in it. It's got 2 blushers, a bronzer, a highlighter, eyebrow stuff. It's got like everything, which makes it a very good palette. But I bought it and then I put it away for ages, and I forgot it existed because I got distracted by other newer palettes, and I want to use it up because it's really nice, but it's also really old and it's taking up space, and I hate just throwing things out without using them. So I'm working my way through the bronzer and the blusher from this palette, and they're both actually really nice. I couldn't tell you what they're called or if Smashbox even still make them, but they're in here. So just do whatever you normally do. And there's 2 different blushers there. Look at how big this palette is. And then it's got all this stuff in it as well. I don't really use those parts that much, but there's 2 shades of blusher I'm going to be using more like the kind of rose goldy one because I like that more. And with the same brush because I am minimalistic, let's just say. Cheap and lazy is probably a better word for it, but same brush. Also, okay, I will just say I actually genuinely do enjoy using the same brush because I think it helps the blusher and the bronzer blend together nicer and just looks a bit more natural that way. So it's not all just cheap and lazy. There is a little bit of logic in there. Maybe. So that's as much as I do with the face. Super simple, like, and again, kind of, you know, transferable. You can do whatever you normally do. So we're gonna move on to the eyes now. And I am going to use for primer the Smashbox again, actually. 24-hour photo finish shadow primer. That's what it looks like. And this is insanely good. Like, I've heard it talked about a little bit, but I'm surprised I haven't heard it talked about more because this stuff works. Like, I cannot skip eyeshadow primer because it'll be gone. But this makes it last. Like, this lasts all the way through work, into the evening. This stuff is good. And like, I've had this for ages and I still have loads in there. You only use an absolutely tiny amount. Like, that much. So, would recommend. Absolutely worth it. So that just goes all over the eyelids. And then I grab a big fluffy kind of brush. This one is Real Techniques. I actually mentioned it in a favorites video, which I'll pop down below if you want to watch it. But it's so good. I love it. I use it for everything. So I'm just going to get that. I'm going to get a little bit of that translucent powder. And I just set the primer with that brush. Just a little bit of powder because you don't want it to kind of, again, cake up or anything. But it's just gonna really help the primer to do its job. I think I might bring you in a bit closer for this part. So for the eyeshadow, I am using something that I'm so happy to hear is cruelty free now, because I've had this again for a while. I have a lot of makeup for a long time, but I've had this for ages. This is just an individual eyeshadow from Inglot. This is what I love this color for autumn. And I was like, oh my God, can I even use it in the video? Because I'm all about being cruelty free, and I do think it is really important, and I wouldn't want to make it look like I just don't really care, and sometimes I just buy stuff that tests on animals. But I've had this since before I made the switch. So I'm really happy that I can actually now talk about it proudly and say that I love this eyeshadow because it's cruelty free. So it's just, gosh, what is the color? I don't think it has a particular color on it. It says Shine. Maybe that's the color, or maybe it's just like from a Shine metallic sort of collection, but that's what it looks like. So basically, to apply this, anything that has any bit of glitter to it, I always just use my finger, because you just pick up the most with your finger. It doesn't get lost in a brush and it just goes on so much better. So I just run my ring finger in there and then I just drag it gently on my eyelid. So this can look just like a little bit harsh just by itself. So what you could do if you want to make it a bit softer and a bit more intentional is to take like just a fairly neutral nude kind of brown, something like that kind of color, and just again like that fluffy kind of brush, just a little tiny bit, and just kind of blend across the crease with it, and it'll just make it look a little bit more finished. Then I would definitely recommend grabbing some sort of like flat brush like that, and with maybe like one shade darker of a brown to go underneath your lash line. So again, it just kind of finishes the whole thing out. So that's the eyeshadow, and then the next thing is to do eyeliner, and again, just do whatever eyeliner you normally do. I like a bit of a subtle kind of flick, and I actually genuinely think the best eyeliner I've ever used in my whole life is the Carter Beauty Supreme Gel Liner. This is the Super Fan mascara by Smashbox, and I'm actually running out of it, so it doesn't go on as well as it used to, but it is genuinely a fantastic mascara, and again, I would absolutely recommend. So that's the mascara done, and as you may know about me, I never really do my brows, so I'm gonna actually stick with that. I was thinking, you know what, since I'm making a video, maybe I'll just do something with my brows, but I was like, no, do you know what, I don't do that. I don't usually do that. So what I usually only do with my brows is one of these bad boys and just brush out my brows, because like, it's gonna sound like such a weird brag, but like I have really full eyebrows anyway. So I don't usually like to fill them in because I just think it makes them look too intense. So I just kind of smooth them out and clear away any foundation or whatever that might have gotten into them. Just really clean them up and leave them au naturel, you know? So that's pretty much like the whole eye area done. So all we have left to do is lips. So unfortunately, lip wise, the lip liner I'm using is not cruelty free, and it's by MAC, but it's MAC's Boldly Bare. So back to cruelty free. The lipstick I'm using is from Essence. This is from the This Is Me line, and it's called Lovable, in case they still make it. Okay, so there you have it. It's so simple, like I've said about 5 times so far, but it is really so simple and I love it, and it's so autumnal and it's so me. I love a good bold lip. So that's really it. I don't really have anything else to add to it, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give me an all thumbs up please, and subscribe if you haven't already. The button's right there. And do leave me a comment. Let me know if you're an autumn person like me, or if you like one of the other seasons. Don't know why, but let me know. And yeah, stay tuned. I will have more autumn content, hopefully. So yeah. All right, bye.